Alright guys, I'm going to come at you with a definitive tier list for August 2022 for Master Duel. I'm going to be ranking pretty much every archetype because people just keep asking what about this, what about that? And so we're going to get right into it. First off, we have Aqua Actress. These are poo-poo doo-doo. You cannot really play them to any success on the ladder, so poo-poo doo-doo. Next up, we have Emancipator. Emancipator is actually going to go in tier 2 for now. This deck has significantly fallen off. I barely ever see it in Diamond at this point, and when I do, I rarely lose to it, like, if ever. So, tier 2. Next, for now in tier 1, I'm actually going to be putting Phantom Knight Adventure. This deck I don't see too much of, but when I do, it has plays for days. It is incredibly resilient, and the deck is just very good. So Phantom Knight Adventure, definitely in the tier 1 spot. Altergeist, they're off meta. They're off meta. I don't think they're in the like not very good playable tier. I do think that they belong kind of in like more of a rogue tier. Aliens, if it's alien Cosmic Slicer Ogodic, like I did on the channel before. It's not very good, but it's playable right now. It's really hindered by Floowandereeze being a thing, and if it goes second and you're trying to play into adventure, you're going to lose, and there are a lot of adventure variants right now. But it's definitely better than all the decks of poo-poo. Which brings us to ABC. It's playable. I don't think you're going to really get many wins with it, and you're probably going to be able to get like out of gold with it. But is it better than stuff like Aqua Actress? Definitely. Next we have Adventure. So Adventure variants, like in general, Adventure is incredibly strong. Griffin's a very good card, and so it deserves to be in tier 1. I'm going to put it chilling next to Phantom Knights because that's what I see it with mostly. I also see a lot of Prank Kids. We'll get to them in a bit. North Beast, they're poo-poo doo-doo. Arcana Force, it's poo-poo doo-doo. I know they have the meme strategy where they can beat you with the coin flip and take your turn with, I think it's the world, but you're not going to actually see anybody running that, and if they do, you're probably not going to lose to that. Next we have Battle Wasps. They're not very good, but they're playable. They'll be better when Beat Trooper happens. Battle Wasp definitely better than everything in the poo-poo tier. Cloudians, poo-poo doo-doo. Next we have Cyber, and this is like Cyber Dragon, Cyber Dark, all that good stuff. We're just gonna roll into one because I do mainly see Cyber Dark with Cyber Dragon rolled in. I know I have 2 images for it. I'm actually gonna put it in off meta above Altergeist, and then we're gonna have Scythe Lock. Scythe Lock is definitely off meta just because I don't see it a lot, but I do feel like it can beat the decks above it that rely on the extra deck. Like if you Scythe Lock Emancipators, what are they really going to do other than summon the Block Dragon? Scythe Lock I'll actually put ahead of Altergeist, I think. Next we have generic Code Talker spam, like Cyber spam. That can also go ahead of Altergeist, because you'll actually see it more than Altergeist, and I feel like the deck just has more representation, so you actually encounter it more, which kind of makes it look more like powerful. Next we have Despia and the Tax Collector Dragon. That can be tier 2. Despia, I feel like doesn't have a lot of representation right now in Diamond, but I feel like the deck's pretty good. Actually, you know what? We're going to put it in off meta. We're going to put it in off meta because it does have a really difficult Flow matchup, and Flow is kind of squeezing the meta out right now, which brings us to Flow. So I love Floowandereeze. Someone on my last deck list, like tier list video, made a good point about Flow, and that's the fact that it is kind of hard to play through Griffin. I know I do it with minimal problems in a lot of my replays, but that's because I have the out to it, which is the Book of Moon, to book them to force it to negate it. or the infinite imperm. But if you don't have either of those, or if you could draw kind of a like clunky, chunky hand, then I feel like flow loses to adventure. So I feel like it's fair to put it under adventure, but I do feel like flow can beat pretty much everything below it. Like it's gonna have no problem beating Emancipator. It's gonna have no problem beating any of these decks. Like Scythelocke wouldn't even touch it. Despia's not even gonna touch it. Cyber Dragons can't really do their fusions for their fusion effects if you go first. So flow is just kind of a beast in the meta. Next, we have Chronomaly. Chronomaly can be the king of the poo-poo doo-doo tier for now. I don't feel like it's that playable. I feel like it's too easy to get around. Ancient Warriors, they're actually going to be in tier 4. And I'm actually going to put them above Battle Wasps. And Battle Wasps. And we already did Artifacts. Ancient Gears, they can come out of left field and just do things. They're not like super great this meta. They actually don't have too bad of a Floowandereeze matchup. I actually did see somebody playing Ancient Gear in Diamond, and I was playing Flow, and I barely won. The effect for them to make it to where you can't activate effects during the damage step, so you can't get over it with Impen, is kind of problematic, and the deck is just pretty decent. I actually do run Snow, so the Snow Owl booked all their stuff down, which is how I won. But I'm actually going to have a controversial opinion and put Ancient Gear in off meta, strictly because you can clobber the flow matchup, and it doesn't care too much about certain adventure variants, but it's definitely not going to get over decks above it that often, and it is pretty clunky, and it can be Ash. Leaning towards actually putting it to be the king of tier 4, but we'll see. Next, we have BES. It can't really do anything at this point. It's cool. I love the deck. It's a lot of fun. I might play it on the channel sometime, but it's poo-poo. It would be a real struggle. Next, we have Boojins. They also go in poo-poo. Kaiser Coliseum is a thing in Master Duel, and you could play it, but the deck it's just not very good. It's just too old. Next we have Chaos Beast. They're not very good, but they're playable. I mean, they're better than stuff in poo-poo. Like, if Chaos Beast were to play against Boojin, for instance, you summon like the 4,000 attack monster, you look at your motto, it's like, okay, pitch all your cranes. Do it. Next we have Destiny Heroes. So pure Destiny Hero, I don't see like a lot of, and strictly based on representation, I'm going to put it in tier 3 for off meta. But Destiny Hero being able to run like multiple copies of DPE is pretty good, and being able to take full advantage of it and just do crazy shenanigans. I'm actually going to put that above Despia and off meta, just because they can do a lot of stuff. Actually, no, I'm going to put it under Despia. Despia is still pretty good. Dragon Link has kind of fallen off quite a bit, and you don't see it as much, but I am still going to put it above Emancipator because I've seen it more than Emancipator in terms of representation, and they've been able to do more, it feels like. They do have a difficult time with like Imperm and stuff like that, but I still think it's more viable than Emancipator. So Black Rose gets an honorable mention here. It's more so like the Rocks Rose Dragon and stuff are more so of a good engine. So you do see some of the Rose archetype in there. I do like the Rose like swordsoul type deal. So the Rose variants, I'm gonna put. I even see like decent adventure Rocks Rose variants. I played against one on stream earlier. It was pretty decent. I'm gonna say like adventure Black Rose. Or Adventure Rose can be up there like next to Scythelocke and Code Talker. It's not that bad. Next we got Buster Blader. It's playable. Mech Knights, playable. Danger variants. Danger Adventure is actually kind of funny. Danger Dark World is also still a thing. It's going off meta, and it's going to go above Ancient Gears. And if you max C, sometimes they will deck you out, so you gotta be careful about that. Evil Hero, it's not super great, but it's playable, and they can do like shenanigans with the big guy, so playable. Frightfur, it's gonna go right here. Yeah, we're gonna put Fluffles on Frightfur, like right behind Ancient Warriors. It exists. Dark Lord Despia, gonna go right next to Despia. Dark Magician, I have like seen vanish from the ladder. I haven't seen it at all. So because of representation, I'm gonna put it as the king of the tier 4, not very good but playable tier. Dark Magician can do stuff. You can banish the Draco back card in Adventure with your with a continuous spell that they run, the Dark Magic Circle. So like it can do stuff. It doesn't really need the extra deck, so it doesn't have the worst flow matchup, but you'll probably have a little bit of a challenge with the cards flow runs like Apex Avian and Rise of the Mega Monarch. Next we have Charmers. Charmers are okay, they're playable. I actually saw a Charmer Adventure deck that was funny and kind of cool, actually. Someone with Charmers behind Fluffles. Next we have Blue Eyes. I feel like Blue Eyes has lost a lot of steam, and there's other beat stick decks that are just better than it. It doesn't have the worst Flunder matchup. It does have trouble getting around like Griffin to play like cards to get to your Blue Eyes, but it's okay, and you could always just waste the alternative to get over Griffin. So it's gonna go unplayable. It's gonna go under Dark Magician. Yeah, I think that's right, because like I said, the Ogotic deck, the Alien Ogotic Slicer deck, just has too many problems and it's too inconsistent to actually be better than Blue Eye, so it's gonna go under there. Battle and Boxers, they're poo-poo. There's like their hand traps being in the game. They're not even playable. Black Wings. I'm actually gonna put Black Wings above Ancient Warriors. They got secret plays, they got XYZ plays, they got extra deck plays. Actually, I'm gonna put them below Blue Eyes. I think I'm sleeping on Black Wings a little bit. I don't really see the deck very often, but it's not terrible. So next we have Drytron Herald. So Drytrons, I'm actually gonna put at the butt end of tier 2. They are no longer tier 1 in my opinion. I do not have much trouble beating them. Most decks above them can easily clobber them. The deck's just not as consistent as it was, and you really don't see it played very often. And the representation has sunk so far that I believe it deserves to be in tier 2. Next we have Deities. This deck I pretty much always put in tier 2 because with the right pilot, this deck can do crazy shenanigans. It's just pretty decent. Dark World, the only variant you'll really ever see is Danger Dark World, so it's going to go next to Danger. If it's pure Dark World, it's going to be in like the ass end of tier 4, but if it's Danger Dark World, it can go next to Dark World. Tier 3 for off meta. Next we have Dogmatica. Dogmatica is decent. I'm going to put it over like the Cyverse Code Talker shenanigans, but under the Adventure Roxroad shenanigans. Next we have Dragon Maid. Dragon Maid can join Dogmatica in the off-meta tier. The deck's okay. It just, everything like above it just can easily beat it at this point, and it just struggles a little. So another controversial one for this list, but we're actually going to put Eldritch at the ass end of tier 2. We're going to put it above Drytron based on representation, but this deck has fallen off hard, and I have no problems just clobbering it with whatever I'm playing. I rarely ever lose to the Eldritch deck. Sometimes I might have some small issues with it, but it's just really not what it used to be. Dust-ons, poo-poo, although there is a fun control variant. Earth Toolbox, I don't really see very often anymore. It is still good. I just don't see it represented a lot on the ladder. I am going to go ahead and put it in off meta, and we're going to put it above D Heroes. Chain Strike, it's playable. It's not that great, but it's playable. Dinos. So, Dinos at this point, with the Scrap Dino Wombo combo and being able to fart out a huge board, I'm actually going to put Dinos up in tier 2 above Eldritch and Drytron at this point. I know I'm going to get people in the comments saying, what the fuck are you smoking? But if you are in Diamond, like, I want to say like Diamond 4 or higher, I've actually seen more Dino variants than I have Eldritch and Drytron, and I've had a harder time playing against them. I've mainly been playing like Flow and Adventure variants, and a lot of swordsoul. But I just feel like that this deck is actually better than these two. Dinos do brick more. Actually, with that point, and the fact that hand traps can interrupt them, I'm actually going to put Dinos under Eldritch. I'm still going to put them above Drytron, because Drytron is just like a shell of its former self at this point. Next we have Earthbound Immortal. Poo-poo. It's too old. Fire Kings. Also poo-poo. Fortune Fairies. Poo-poo. Just do a lot of the poo-poo decks like right now. Pure Gradles. Poo-poo. Hands. Poo-poo. The Ignite FTK thing, you just don't see it much anymore. It's still playable. Ignite Cyberstein FTK. Infernities, they're so fragile because they can just imperm one or two things or ash one or two things, and they just struggle, but they can pop off when they pop off. But that's a big if. So I'm going to put them as the king of poo-poo tier, even though it pains me a little bit. Gladiator Beast, poo-poo. Goblin as an archetype, like Goblin Attack Squad, Goblin Defense Squad, all that good stuff. That is going to be in the poo-poo tier. Menju, it's off meta. It can still clobber people. Just, remove a bunch of shit, normal summon, beat stuff up. Deck has fair representation too. I'm going to put it next to Dragon Maid. I don't really see it being above or below, but I'm going to put it next to him. For higher, it's playable. Not very good, but it's playable. So the Fairy Tail Luna, Fairy Tail Snow, Kaiju, bounce shit back to people with King of Beast deck. Off meta. It's really annoying, but the deck functions. Nothing has happened to it, and you'll still see it from time to time. It's not super great, but it can steal wins. At Ignister, I'm going to put it in tier 2 because if they go first and they make the huge dude with 4,000 or 5,000 that's unaffected by anything, even the decks above it can struggle with it if it goes first. If it doesn't make that, it's not the worst, but if that deck goes first, then it can do some shenanigans. Next we have regular Fortune Ladies. Poo-poo. Ballpark variants, not super great, but they're playable right now. Gate Guardian deck, poo-poo. Gem Knights, not very great, but they're playable. I mean, I believe Gem Knights could probably clobber everything below it. Gene Raiders, they're playable. Better than Infernity. Ghost Tricks, poo-poo. Gravekeepers, they're gonna go up here next to Blackwings. And the reason we're putting them up there is because Gravekeeper can still rip your entire hand away with Royal Tribute. Gravekeeper can just run a bunch of hand traps in Necro Valley, and Necro Valley is a good card. cards can't be banished and you can't do shenanigans in the graveyard. Like, Necrovalley, not a bad card. So, Gravekeepers can be in tier 4. Not quite off meta, but tier 4. Photons, they're playable. They might move down to poo-poo, but for now they're going to be playable. Evil Eye, playable, ahead of Photons and ahead of Gene Raider, but below Gem Knight. Gimmick Puppet, poo-poo. Exodia, .duck, playable. Endymion, playable. Evil Swarm. Evil Swarm is poo-poo right now, honestly. It has a good swordsoul matchup, but other than that. Inzektor, I can go in the poo-poo tier. I love Inzektors, but they are poo-poo right now. Magispectors, also poo-poo. When Inzektors get the quick play spell, they might get to move up to tier 4. Like Ascend of tier 4. Mathmech. If we get a Photon in there, we get a Mathmech in there. No, it's better than Exodia. It's better than Gene Raider. It's not as good as Evil Eye, in my opinion. Actually, this can move down a little bit, too. Invoked. Invoke's gonna go in off meta. I know some people are gonna be like, why? But Invoke can go in off meta. There's a cool Magic Key variant of it. I mean, it's still good. Makama's still a good card. Hero. Pure hero variants. They can go next to DP and off meta. They can do things. Alright, did I put them off meta or did I put them in tier? Yeah, put them off meta. Cool. Sacred Phoenix and Nephthys. Doo-doo tier. We already covered the Kaiju Fairy Tail deck, so that's where it's going to go. Cosmos are playable, but they're just not doing much right now. Lots and lots of trains. Below Dark Magician, above Blue Eyes. Ice Barriers. I mean... yeah, right there. So generic zombie variant with Zombie World, fucking shit up, doing zombie things, doing zombie synchro things. Tier 3. It's off meta. Some decks will just like lose to it. The crazy Mayakashi Bone Tower FTK variant. One hand trap beats it, but you'll see it, and it has zombie engine, so tier 3 off meta. Mayakashi's like without the Bone Tower FTK, probably tier 4. That is Goki, I believe. So Goki, it's playable. Madolchie, it's playable. Metal Foes, pretty doo-doo right now. Magic Muskets, absolutely doo-doo right now. And with people running triple imperm to stop flow right now, yeah, good luck with that. Megalith, good luck with that in this format. Pure Monarchs, no, it's poo-poo. Mutant is actually gonna dangle off the ass end of Othman. No, I think Mutant's actually gonna go below Blue Eyes and below Blackwing. And below GK, actually. I shit on that deck with GK. That replays in the GK deck profile, I believe. You go above Aliens, though. Numeron? Numeron FTK has a hard time with flow, but everything else, not too much. And I see a lot of it represented still. So Numeron FTK, I'm actually going to put it above Hero, below Machine and Toolkit. Infernoids, we can avoid the Noid. It's poo-poo. Alien Ogotic, we already covered. we go. They're pals. Pendulums are playable. Not great right now. Saw one on the ladder earlier. Beat it, but it was playable. They did things. Paleo, I feel like back row deck really isn't viable right now, and being blown out with Feather Duster doesn't sound fun. I still think that Paleo or Paleo Frogs is still better than like everything below it in tier 5. So you know what? It's gonna go in tier 4. It's gonna go in the playable tier. We already covered Mekk-Knights. Orchest. We're putting Paleo on here. We're putting Madolche and Goki on here. Put Orchest in like high tier 4. Nurseburn. It's poo-poo. Absolute poo-poo right now. Prank Kids. This is your heavyweight king of the format. Adventure Prank Kids is freaking awesome. The deck is fun, and I don't even really hate playing against it. Phantasm Spiral, we're putting Paleo on there. They can be on there too. They're playable. Shaddoll gets to go in off meta behind the zombies. Salad, off meta next to Shaddoll. So Scraps as an archetype. I'm not talking about the Scrap Dino shenanigans. I'm talking about just Scraps as an archetype. They are really doo-doo. Speedroids as an archetype. They are really doo-doo. Plunder Patrol as an archetype. It's playable. Better than the stuff in the doo-doo tier. It's playable. Heck, I'm feeling charitable. Even Skull Servant can get in the playable tier today. Grass is at 3. Why not? Spellbooks, doo-doo. Stardust.deck with like the Stardust Dragon Kit. Just spamming out the big-ass Stardust monsters. It's doo-doo, but it gets to be the king of doo-doo tier. That's something. Samorg, that's an archetype. People like this, but like, even Samorg Try kind of sucks. Put you next to Insectors. Star Seraph, Stick Chair, for those that remember it, doo-doo. We already ranked Steel Swarm, so I'm just going to put it in doo-doo. Six Samurai can make Rongo Bongo, and it's playable. If you get Rongo'd, it kind of sucks. And they can make Rongo like the easiest. I actually saw this in Diamond quite a bit. So Six Samurai, strictly the Rongo variant, can be in tier 4. If someone's playing Six Samurai without Rongo, like if Rongo gets banned by the time this tier list comes out, because I'm recording it like the day before August. If they got rid of Rongo, then this is doo-doo. But with Rongo, yeah, it can be there. Shiranui. Shiranui can actually get around flow, kind of, with the dude that destroys when he's banished. It can go under zombies. This is like the battle bot thing. Poo-poo. Archfiends and some Skull, poo-poo. Super Quantal is pretty poo-poo. Super Samurai, pretty poo-poo. And Sex Light is that too, so that hurts the deck even more. The Instrument archetype, that one's doo-doo as well. Venom counters, that is definitely going to be doo-doo. 10 Dangles, at least it's better than Venom counters. Worse than Super Quantal. Rockets, like not Rocket Link, or not Dragon Link, sorry. Not Dragon Link, but like straight up Rockets. They're playable. I even feel like they're better than a lot of the decks under it. I do feel like Madolche could get the better of it though. But yeah, Rocket's okay. Sky Striker. Sky Striker has a lot of disruption. It's still decent. I still see a lot of variance for it. I have more trouble with it than I do with Alpha at this point. but that might just be me personally. We're gonna put Striker over in tier 2. Subterrors, they're playable. It's real hard for them this format right now, but they're playable. I had a harder time playing GK in this format than I did Subterrors. Sorry, I mean I had a harder time playing Subterrors than I did GK. Other way around. They're playable though. We already ranked Mech Knights. Melfi. They have combos. They'll be the king of poo-poo tier. Thunder Dragons. They're not terrible, and they're better than just being playable. And Thunder Dragon Despia is kind of cool, so it can be an off meta. So this is the Tenyi swordsoul variant of Tenyi. We're actually going to put you up in tier 1, right behind the PK adventure variant and ahead of the other adventure variants. We're going to go put regular swordsoul up there too. There is even a swordsoul adventure variant. I do think the Tenyi variant is superior. I was playing swordsoul Tenyi, and I was just tearing through diamond like toilet paper. I actually had an easier time playing this deck than I did playing Floowandereeze. This deck is it's still really, really good. And the proof of that is even in the TCG, it's still been like getting regional tops here and there. Tenyi swordsoul still good. Weather is poo-poo. Tunes are at least playable. I mean, tunes are better than Stardust on deck, Infernities, Inzectors right now. Yeah. We already did 6-Sam. Spiral's playable. It's better than tunes. Put him next to Plunder. Deck's not super great though. Tremid, poo-poo. Trickstar, poo-poo. Sorry, but it's poo-poo. It's not even gonna get playable. The deck just kind of sucks. True Draco. True Draco is gonna go up here and chill next to GK and Subterrors, chilling between them. The deck's okay. It's not super great. Floowandereeze is better True Draco at this point. Witchcrafter, it's playable. I guess it's better than Skull Servant. Umbral is poo-poo. Volcanics are poo-poo. We already did Predaplant. Viacroids, poo-poo. Rongo Bongo. You can dangle off the ass end of tier 3. You don't see him too much. If you saw it way more, it'd be higher. So Ding Doodle. Ding Doodle gets an honorable mention here because I've been seeing him a lot with like Halifabric shenanigans. Like the Halifabrics make Yangzing, set the 9 paths of the Yangzing or whatever it's called, and like adventure as backup and having a bunch of negates. The whole Halifabrics Auroradon, Yangzing, Ding Doodle thing. Yeah, it could be in tier 3. Time Lords are playable. I even think they're better than Witchcrafter. Tri-Bri. Good luck outing certain things with Tri-Brigade, but Tri-Brigade is going to be... Tri-Brigade, particularly Tri-Zoo, is still going to be our king of the tier 2. Unchained. It's playable. It's better than Tunes. Valkyries, poo-poo. Virtual World. I actually saw this on the ladder today. It's okay. I'm actually going to put VW higher than Eldritch at this point. Like, I would have harder problems against that than Eldritch. And VW at least is outs for some of the flow monsters with the trap card being able to destroy things. Trap Tricks. I think Trap Tricks can go behind the Runga Bongo Six Samurai variant. If Runga Bongo didn't exist to be the king of that tier. UA is playable. It's not like super great or anything. Don't get any like illusions about that. But it's better than Tunes. Not a high bar. Time Thief, it has combos, but like on its own, if you're just running a Time Thief deck with like nothing else, it's poo poo. Worms, poo poo. Like chaos variants, like strict chaos variants, poo poo. Red Eyes, poo poo. They still don't have their best card. I think that's a Ritual Beast. Yeah, Ritual Beast are playable. They're not like super great, but I think they're better than like everything on the poo poo tier. So Ritual Beast can go in tier 4. Zoo Try is still a very good deck. It's still very real. Better than just regular Try. So Zoo Try is still tier 2. Wind-ups, they're poo-poo. World Chalice. So World Chalice Magic-y gets an honorable mention because the deck is actually playable. It's not like super great, but it's playable. Put it next to Time Lords. World Chalice Magic-y could do like tons of combos, and being able to just like have access to Cross Sheep and stuff like that is fun too. Zephyr's pretty poo-poo right now. So Yangzing Sword Soul. It's weird, but it's off meta. It can go next to the Ding Doodle variants. Tenyi. Sorry, but poo-poo. I love the deck. Yubel. Just pure Yubel. You guys wanted me to rank this for some reason. It's poo-poo. Constellar, poo-poo. Shino Bird Rituals, poo-poo. I'm gonna say this can represent Crusadia, because Mech Knight, Crusadia, whatever. Crusadia is at least playable, same with Mech Knight, so Crusadia can go up there. If it's going second, Crusadia with Kaijus to just poo-poo on your opponent. It can do things. Wind Witch is poo-poo. Vylon is poo-poo. Vylon did win a regional in the TCG recently. It was really weird. I can't remember if it won or top, but I think it was like Germany, and they're actually playing Union Hanger. Union Hanger actually works with Vylons, but one is not enough, so poo-poo. X-Saber, poo-poo. It's just too old. Already did trains. Aromage is Aromage can be the king of poo-poo tier. It does stuff, I guess. So Zeus Turbo variants, they're like still playable. Pure Naturia, poo-poo. VWXYZ, poo-poo. Vendreads, poo-poo. Vampires, like as an archetype, poo-poo. Watts, poo-poo. And so that is going to kill it for... That's going to kill it. I have quite an accent tonight. That is going to kill it for our tier list. As you can notice, I don't have anything in tier 0 because I don't see anything being too oppressive. I do think Prank Kids is the best deck in the format. Prank Adventure, followed by Phantom Knight Adventure, followed by Tenyi Sword Soul, then regular Sword Soul, then other random adventure variants, and then Flunder. That's going to be it for the tier list. As always, this video was sponsored by, drumroll please, W Energy. Use code SirLargeGaming to get 10% off using the link below. I personally love the peach mango flavor, and a close second is the dragon fruit Dragonade flavor. It's very good. I've stopped buying energy drinks from like convenience stores and stuff completely. I pretty much only drink W now. It's a great value because you get a lot of scoops, and it's way cheaper than buying like a certain reddish bullish drink. But yeah, I really like it. Anyway, I'll see you guys the next time. Tell me if there's something I missed that you want to see on the list next time, and I will see you in the next video. Bye bye.